move the ball back, that's going to lower your ball flight. If you move it forward, that's going to add trajectory. If you close the face, that'll take loft off. If you open the face, that'll put the loft on. So the slicers always have the ball too far forward with the face too open when they hit the ball. And so they're coming back to the inside with an open face, puts the clockwise spin on the ball, and they hit these high weak slices. And because they slice, so if I aim left, move the ball forward, open the face, and then I'm afraid of going right, I don't want to go out of bounds. It's out of bounds, so I swing left. I go like this. Oh God, please don't go out of bounds. So the next shot, I go even farther left, move it further forward, swing more across it, and I slice it even more. See? So that's the most common shot in golf, the slice. No distance, no solid contact.
I get no distance. All the distance is going like that.
Yeah. So the opposite would be the hook. You know, here's the guy that's afraid of hooking. Out of bounds left, so he aims right, he moves the ball back. He doesn't want to go that way, so he swings that way from in to out. And he see the hooking?
Yeah.
You know? So I gave 3 lessons yesterday, and just coincidentally, they all had hooking problems. So they've been watching the Golf Channel, they're starting to sink in, you got to swing in to out. Well, they're too much in to out now, and they're ready to quit. So now I'm starting to fix a lot more hooks than I used to. I was going to change my name to Bob Slice Fixer instead of Bob Ackerman. To fix slices all day long. But now I got these 3 guys hooking it. So, but the hook is the good player's problem. So the sooner you can learn to hook the ball, the better. You'll be in the low handicap category. The high handicappers slice, the low handicappers have hooking problems. So, and then of course if you want to hit a draw, you move it back, close the face, and make that sledgehammer swing. Yeah, that was perfect. I think it hit that 250 sign. Well, anyway. If you want to fade, aim left, move it forward, open the face, sledgehammer. No fade, that's straight. So I get a do-over. Open face, ball forward, sledgehammer. So there's the fade. So when I'm standing over the ball, I can control if it fades or draws.
Bob, you're doing that by being able to feel the club head, but I could see how you could feel it on your practice swing, but on your regular swing, in just 1.2 seconds, can you make adjustments that much in turning your wrist and not turning your wrist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can feel it turning over. I can feel it holding on.
And you can change it mid-swing.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, like this. Let's say I wanted to hit a draw, but I'm going to take the club way outside like a slice, so I'll go like this. So I get a do-over. So I'm going to hit a draw with a slice backswing. I'm going to pick it up to the outside. See?
Okay, how'd you do that?
I rerouted the club.
Okay.
Yeah, now I'm going to hit a slot. Now I'm going to hit a spade from a draw backswing. Okay, I'm going to take it in. See? So the backswing is not nearly as important as from here to the ball. So that's where golfers make their mistake is that they don't concentrate on here to the ball. They're always hoping that if they make the right backswing, they'll hit a good shot. Now, you can have a backswing thought and play great golf. Don't get me wrong. There's more than one way to skin a cat. But if I got a guy that's slicing and he's trying to have perfect posture and he keeps cutting across it, you got to forget about that posture. See? Oh, I saw on the Golf Channel where you're supposed to have your back straight, and the fitness guy said, you know, your glutes and your core, and you gotta drive and you gotta shift. And I says, but you slice every shot. See, so I was just for some reason thinking today that when I teach, I always fix the ball flight, and once you fix the ball flight, then you can start fine-tuning your mechanics. Because once you're standing over the ball and you realize that you have some degree of control on what the ball is going to do, whether it's going to draw or fade or go high or go low, your confidence starts to rise a little bit. So even though you might not make a perfect swing, you can still hit a perfect shot. See? You know, if I want to hit the ball high, I'll move it forward, I'll open the face, and I'll hit more from in to out. So if I want to hit this ball higher than that cell phone tower, that's how I would do it. And if I want to hit this ball lower than the trees, I'd move it back, I'd close the face, and I'd hit more down and across the ball. That's too low. So I got to do over. Ball back, close club face. So I can alter that trajectory with my ball position and my path. And if you had a bucket of balls, if you hit half of them, I'm going to hit a fade here. And half of them with a fade and half of them with a draw, your draw would never turn into a hook and your fade would never turn into a slice. So that's a great way to practice. I didn't draw it, so I get a do-over. So half draws, half fades. Because what happens when you're slicing or hooking, you're overcooking the fade or the draw. So the idea is to try to everybody's problem is consistency. So you can be more consistent if you practice that way. Same thing with trajectory. If you hit half the balls high, that's a high one. And the other, and the next one low. You know, all of a sudden you're like, you know, you be in control of what the ball's doing instead of being at the mercy of your golf swing. Please, God, let me make a good swing, and I hope I hit a good shot. You know?
Especially the first tee box.
First tee box, yeah.
How did you know I said?
Huh? Because I've gone through all this. Because I'm 60 years old and I've been playing golf ever since I've been 9 years old. I've always practiced a lot, and I have played competitively my whole life. I'm still playing competitively. I'm just trying to lower my score and hit better shots, and I'm willing to do everything that's legal to do that. And so I've tried to make that perfect swing when the pressure was on. Okay, but what's another difference between good players and everybody else? So if you're on the first tee, yeah. I mean, at Sylvania Country Club, or Heather Heather Highlands, I think it is. The first tee is right behind the clubhouse. You know, so it's a neat old course. So you can have people standing right there. And so here's the first tee. So what do good players do on the first tee? You know what I try to do? Just hit a simple, straightforward, solid shot. Nothing fancy. Okay? And I try to make a good swing. Good players, when the pressure's on, make their best swings and hit milk toast, plain vanilla, straightforward, simple shots. And everybody else makes their worst swing and trying to hit a hero shot. You know I can't get there with my 7-iron, but I'm going to hit it anyway. You know, even though there's wind in my face and there's water in front of the green. You know, so here's the first tee, you know, and that's why I practice on the tee from West Bloomfield, Michigan, Bob Ackerman, you know. And then they'll throw something else in there to make you choke, because that's like the U.S. Open. They make it so hard. They want to see these guys choke, you know. Not every tournament's like that, you know, but so on the tee from West Bloomfield, so I do this, you know. And in my mind, I can see that hole. I'm here, right here with you guys on the range, but in my mind, I'm playing that hole. And if I hit it like that off the first tee, oh, they go, and you always go like that. And if there's a TV camera there, you always turn to the TV camera and you go like that, because you want to get that. That's your second pro tip of the day. Don't turn your back to the TV camera when you make a good shot. Always.
Or you make a bad shot.
When you make a bad shot, that's an excellent question. You always come up with the first excuse you can think of. My favorite is I slipped on a rock. Or my second favorite is a bug flew in my eye. So one of those two are usually pretty good. Either I slipped on a rock or a bug flew in my eye. You never blame yourself for your bad golf. If you did, you know, so you got to have a long list of excuses. You can blame your teaching pro. I mean, that's what, you know, you can do it, whatever, you know. Here's a really, really, really good point. The difference between good players and everybody else is good players turn negatives into positives. So that's what an excuse does, you know. If Tiger Woods is the best at it, so is Nicklaus. You know, Tiger Woods at the interview after he won the Players' Championship, I'm hitting it great. He hit it in the water, he hit it in the sand, he hit it in the trees. I mean, on the back nine of that tournament, he was all over the place. But his short game out of the greenside bunkers, his putting, you know, was phenomenal. But in his mind, he's hitting it great because he turns negatives into positives. And Garcia was playing great tee to green, hitting the fairways, hitting all the greens, you know. And then till he got to 17, he dunks it in the water. Then he dunked another one in the water. Then he dunked another one in the water. Well, Woods would have dunked in the water too, except he aimed it 20 yards to the left, so he hit it on the front part of the green. If he'd have gone on a line of the hole, he'd have gone in the water too. So Woods outsmarted him. See? But the point is that good players turn negatives into positive. I just three-putted that hole before, but I'm going to birdie this next one. See? That's what good players do. They don't ruminate on their mistakes. They minimize their mistakes by having a creative excuse, and they embellish their successes. Because golf, you're playing against your fellow competitors, and you're playing against the golf course. And if you're playing against yourself, it's 3 against 0. You're going to lose every time. So you got to be your own best friend. The number one rule in golf is don't beat yourself, because your fellow competitors in the golf course are already trying to do that. So, you know, don't beat yourself.